What's up? What's up, y'all? Good afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy, man, 800 the Styles, man. God, the prophet du jour. Um, what's going on, yo, guys? I just had a good weekend, man. This weekend. Really good time. Spent some time with my son. I actually did spend some time with my son because you know what I'm saying he was doing his thing, man. Off in there, just seeing a spot that he's ready to go to, and as everybody knows, he committed to Columbia University. So, you know, what I'm saying that's where we were this weekend, and had a good time, man. So, I had a good time in New York, man. New York be popping, man. New York's a pretty good city, man. It's you know what I'm saying. Like I understand, I was only there for a couple of days or whatever, but you know what I'm saying from the time that I'm there, you know what I'm saying, like every time I've been there, I've probably been there about five. Probably been in New York about five times. Expensive as hell. Yes, expensive as hell is what it is. Um, but low key, it's one of those places that it's like, you know, um, you just feel like things get done. You know what I mean? Like people are getting things done, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a lot of crimes in the cities and stuff like that, especially like in the city, it looks kind of dirty and run down certain places, man. That's a lot of inner city areas, you know. Um but as far as the people, I haven't ran into any like bad people. You know what I'm saying? I run into you run into a lot of in New York. You run into a lot of people that are just focused on their own shit. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you think about how many people in passing, right? In a city like New York, you think about how many people are passing each other on the streets every single day, blah 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 blah, especially during traffic times, right? Cars, everything, right? Um, and you think about that, and it's like the one place really where everybody be on their own mission. That's how you got to be. It's so many people that you got to be that focused on trying to get to where you got to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we was, say my hotel was on Times Square, and just kind of walking around there. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody a salesman and stuff. Talk about that a little bit later in this show. But people grabbing, you know what I'm saying, trying to give you this, dude, try to give me mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Still, it was, but it was cool. But telling you, man, how the game changed, bro. The dude was trying to hand me something that it seemed like, so like how back in the day you used to hand out CDs, saying mixtapes or whatever CDs. And but now it comes like on a little card, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. He's like, nah, man, it's just scan, man, just scan it. I'm like, whoa, player, hold on, player. I'll just be scanning shit. This new age stuff, man. Man, technology will always age you. Technology will, if you think you all this or whatever, technology is always gonna age you. Straight up. So dude hit me with the man, nah, just scan it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing. I don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you like that. Be scanning you all on my phone. You know what I mean? I'll get down like that, player. But it was funny. This one dude tried to because I wear bracelets, you know what I mean? Like beaded bracelets, you know what I'm saying, representing my lineage. But they dude tried to just put bracelets on me. I was like, man, he just grabbed my arm. He was like, here, man, put it. I was like, hey, man, hold on, player. Hold on, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. Like you gotta, like I said, you gotta be focused. That's why I give props to New York, man. They say if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So um it'd be kind of dope, you know what I'm saying? Little dude, little son, you know what I mean? Get the chance to be in that city and you know, hold it down, man, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, learn something about life and gets off the ground running, you know what I'm saying? Um, that's what you want is, you know what I'm saying, parents is we want to kick them out the nest and hopefully they just take off and fly, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose of parenthood at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Is to get them to that point. So good weekend, man. Good time. Came back home. Nice weather. It was nice weather in New York too. But it's nice weather here right now. We cracking right now. Minnesota, 70 something degrees. It's beautiful outside, man. So I know I'm gonna see a lot of outside pictures, outside posts. You know what I'm saying, from everybody, from peoples. You know what I'm saying. But that's what everybody's got to do. Get out there. I gotta get out there and get my lawn, man. I gotta work on my lawn, man. I got a couple of dandelions out there, man. Them yellow boys, man. Them yellow heads. They sitting there, man. I gotta get at them, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of you know living in a home. When you do live in a home, whether you rent or you own it, whatever. That's the one thing Once you move up from townhomes and condos and things like that, you get into actually having to take care of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like take care of your lawn, and it'd be serious. Depending on the neighborhood you live in too. Like it'd be competitive in the neighborhood. Now I live in the neighborhood, man. They be competitive. We got one dude. This dude, I guess they said the dude is like a genealogist or something. We all losing. We all losing to this dude. This dude grass be like green, and I be like, I got an eye for stuff, very observant, and I can tell the different textures and the different widths of certain grass makes it different. Same kind of grass, right? And this dude be having his grass be like pretty much like the same length and width of my grass, regular grass. So I'm like, this dude ain't using like no weird chemicals. You know what I'm saying? Like he using something that's like natural. You know what I mean? Like so, genealogist, he kicking it right now. So, but everybody in the neighborhood be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Be mad. I mow my lawn next to I mow my lawn next to 20 minutes later, everybody got their lawn. You can't. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Them lawn wars is real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got a guy, my neighbor across the street. We need to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all hear this on this show? I said it first. Me and my guy. We need to come up with. I think yeah, because he likes the lawn fight. You know what I'm saying? Chris likes the lawn fight, and that's my neighbor Chris. He likes the lawn, so be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? That's some other stuff I told you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do with 800 Styles Productions, but I'm gonna take you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If it's in my head, it's gonna come out. So you know what I mean? Blessings to y'all. Yeah. So yeah, man, this weekend, like I said, was fun, man. Sports, man. I got to talk about sports, man. Minnesota Timberwolves ready to go. We play tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Golden State took care of their business last night. Basically dominated, which I figured would come out once Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler figured it out. And then your boy Buddy Hield came through. He cool. I like him. Serviceable. I thought he was gonna. I expected it to be way better than that. So, big ups to him for having a good game. Golden State. Indiana handled Cleveland, which is a surprise to me. Very surprised that Cleveland wasn't able to handle that because of the way that they've been just rolling, how they steamrolled through the season. I almost thought they were going to get a 72-10 season, man, the way they was cracking. I mean, they had like 22, 25 game win streaks or something like that, man. 15, 20 games win, something like that. It was a lot. This show ain't dedicated to the actual factuals of basketball world right now. I'm gonna touch on it, but it ain't dedicated to it. So, all right. But no, that's why I'm surprised. I'm surprised Indiana, whatever. But I think Halliburton feeling itself right now, especially after getting that win the way he got the win to advance. So, but yeah, man. Tonight we got the Knicks. You know what I'm saying, and then you got they play it against Boston. So we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be a very difficult game for the Knicks. That's how it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And then also you got OKC and what you got? OKC and Golden State, right? No. You got OKC and Denver Nuggets. That's right, because your boy Russell Westbrook talking crap lately too, man. He said, "Look, this is how I play ball." But I like what he's talking about. Shout outs to Russell Westbrook. I think it's good for him to put it out there. I have my feelings about you when you was with OKC, but we'll talk about that on another show. I've talked about that many times, so we'll talk about that on another show anyway. But I really feel what Russell Westbrook is trying to say to people. You know what I'm saying? His last interview, he was telling people, "Look, man, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? You can criticize me on a missed shot or a turnover, but then you're gonna have to praise me on a steal and a dunk. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to tear me down on a missed 3-pointer, but you got to praise me up when I hit the 3-pointer." He said, "Because you're gonna get it all." You're gonna get it all. But the thing about it is, the thing I love about Westbrook though is you're gonna get it all, but you're gonna get it all at a high energy, and I think that's very important. Very, 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 very important is to have a high energy. Actually, going to transition from this into my topic of the day, but that's a big shout out to Russell Westbrook for pointing that out. I think that's very huge of him to say that because I think people need to understand that. One of the things about me is and my kids were always attest to that is that I always would say it's not what you do, it's what you do after what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. And then as long as you putting balls to the wall on everything, man, you good. Um, but yeah, leading into and transitioning into my topic that I want to talk about today, um, can and can't. Um, the latter of the two is um, basically something that we got to get away from, right? Because back in the day, we used to have a program in school at Roosevelt called Yes I Can. It's a Yes I Can program. You know what I'm saying? Like it was basically built and created to just motivate and be not be excuse me, be optimistic about everything, right? That was the whole purpose of the program was to make sure that you understood that no matter what you thought, yes you can. You know what I'm saying? Anything you think you can do or anything you want to do, you can do it. And that's what yes I can mentality came from, so to speak. That's why I have that mentality now, growing up as an adult. Because as a young kid, someone taught me that, right? And it was almost a movement, especially especially Roosevelt. Roosevelt, man, I'm sorry, Washburn people. I love y'all. I'm sorry, South people. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Southwest people, we didn't even know y'all. I still don't even know where Southwest is. I cannot. I'm telling you right now, I can't. Like I was there. I got there one day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We played there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I got there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to get there though. Like I can't really tell you. Turn here, turn there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't. I ain't even offending nobody. This ain't. You know what I mean? But Roosevelt, we was a movement. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I can was a movement within our school, man. We was pumping that, man. Because it was. I mean, how can you not believe something like that? How can you not believe in something that's telling you? You can do anything. You can be the best at anything you can be, right? And that gave me that philosophy that there's no such thing as the word can't. You know what I'm saying? I learned that, saying probably from my mom and my auntie and my cousins. And that's kind of how we was, man. There's no such thing as the word can't, right? Um, you just got to put your mind to anything you want or anything you think you could do and think positively about it and push yourself and you can get it done. So I just always thought there was no word can't. Don't even think of the word can't. And even in the dictionary, really. Well, I looked it up the other day or yesterday when I was doing this earlier when I was putting everything together. Um, and it does have a definition of the word can't, and it says cannot. Contraction of the word cannot, right? Basically. So um reality, yes, there is no word can. I mean, they got it in there now, but to show that it actually is an abbreviation of the word cannot. So just even thinking in that mindset, there really isn't a word like that. A dictionary doesn't exist. So it's easier to be like, hey, you can't say that word, right? So stop saying the word. I try to push that. Don't say that word. It's not even in existence. So don't make it into existence. Because if you think about it, if the word wasn't in the dictionary a long time ago, and people keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna put it in the dictionary, right? That's just how it falls through, especially with manifestation. So we staying on the word, staying on defining words, right? Um, I believe I can fly, right? What is the definition of the word fly, right? It means to um go from one. I think the definition is to go from one place to another in the air. That's it. That's the definition of the word to go from one place to another in the air. It doesn't say to go 355 feet. It doesn't say to go 4 or 5 states. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't say that. So if you with me, you kind of get where I'm heading on this one, right? Michael Jordan, right? The man flew. You know what I'm saying? So it's all retrospective, right? And it's limitless. It's limitless brain power because what you do is if you say to yourself, "No, man can't fly," then you never think that you can fly. But if you look at it and based on the words and whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? Like a man did fly. Michael Jordan did fly. He jumped from the free throw line all the way basically to the where the rim is at, which is about 10 feet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like about eight, nine, something like that, because his foot was a little bit, his toe was a little bit off. Anyway, we'll deal with that on another subject too. But point being is that he went from one place to another in the air, man, flew, right? So if your mind can understand that, then it can say to itself, okay, yes, I can do that. Whereas some people would have said, no, you can't. Some people still argue to this day that that's not what it actually means. Some people will say there's no way that you can count that as doing that, right? Because their minds, they're making their mind limit. They're making a limit to their mind, right? And you got to be in this world to a point where you think things are limitless, so that there is no word can't. I can't do that. I can. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I'm just not able to do it right now. It's just not possible. I just got to try harder. I just got to do it better. But can is for, you know what I'm saying, end all be all. And if you're young, this is what I try to teach the young kids. If you're young, there is no end all be all right now. You're limitless to what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the options to do whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a young person. So that's one of the things I try to push into the mindset of these young kids nowadays, and I think it's good that we do. So let's try to push that word can't out of that out of their vocabulary. Right? They can do anything. You know what I mean? And I mean, speaking on that, let's go ahead and talk about it again, man. The 100 people, 100 dudes, and a gorilla, man. See, this. The whole point of this is not to bring up the whole 100 people and one gorilla again. The whole point of it for me is to show points of what I'm trying to show, an example. That's what I like to do. I like to bring up examples of what I'm talking about. So, an example of limitless, right? I feel like when I start seeing the things, as far as the conversations that people are having about actually getting detailed and breaking down weights of gorilla, pounds of gorilla, brute force. The one thing I think that people are misunderestimating is the mind of a man, right? I think you're underestimating the mind of a man. Anytime people say that 100 men can't take it down, I think you're underestimating the mind of a man, right? And that's limit. That's a limit. You know what I'm saying? A limitless person will say, no, if I have 100 limitless people that are ready to work together, we can get anything done. One man can get anything done. So 100 man can. I'm not talking about no like spaced out stuff right now. I'm really talking about 100 men actually coming together like men do, think, and and go verse something that's still in an animalistic mentality. I think 100 men minds can beat one animal mind, no matter how strong it is. It can figure it out. That's the thing about it. And that's one of the things I try to push to young people. Figure it out. You can figure it out. That's the biggest thing that you have to learn, because in this world you're going to be by yourself and you're going to have to figure it out. So, and that's one of the things that helps with pushing out that word can't, because when you have to figure things out, you can't use the word can't, even though I used it. But that's the thing about me, is I know how to use words correctly. Okay. But the point being is that once you push that out, you know that you have to figure out the options that you have and then work with those options to make it happen, or just figure it out for another time. Right. Pushes me into one of the reasons of how I coach the way I coach. Because I think that sometimes kids put limits on themselves, and I respect that too. I like, one of the things I do respect is I respect a kid that's harder on themselves than I am to them, because then they understand already they're limitless. They already understand that there's no limit to what they can do. So they're hard on themselves for not doing it, because they see already, they know that they can do it. I don't have to sit there and be like, no, I watched you go ahead and do it. I've seen you guys be able to do this. And that's something that, is difficult for kids to understand. They're like, no way, you didn't see what I can really do. Only I can see what I really do. Well, then go out there and show us. You know what I'm saying? And if we teach them limits, if we tell them can't, then they begin to have these boundaries of things. And at that young age, you don't need to have a boundary at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I could go be a fighter if I want to, right? I can. See what I'm saying? Like I can actually go train. Well, I mean, but literally, my body right now, do I want to go put it through that right now? You know what I'm saying? Like I could do that in about 5-6 months when I got my body prepared for it, or I could have done that when I was younger and I had a better body, better time to commit to something like that. But right now, it's not something that's best for me. I can. So, right, there's no reason to say the word can't. So let's not teach our kids the word can't, because their lives are endless right now. They're the abilities and the things that they are able to do and to be a part of and to seek out is endless right now. And removing the word can't really helps them to be able to exercise all those options, anything that can help positively push their lives in the correct way they're going. Um, and um, with kids nowadays, you gotta push that out of them sometimes, right? You gotta push that can't attitude out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta push that out. I think it comes with um, um, it comes with independency. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I feel like when I coach or instruct these type of things to kids, they get it very well. It's because I talk their language, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't understand. Like when I be yelling at kids and when I be going at them, I think about it, and you be like think about it like this, right? Excuse me. I think about it like this, right? You think about young kids and you think about parents, right? You think about coaches that yell at kids, and you think about why would kids like to be with coaches that yell at kids or deal with coaches that yell at kids, right? Why they keep dealing with it when so if you really think about it, parents really will be the ones that mad, but kids really don't, right? And why is that? And I think the reason is because when you think about it, yelling at the kids is their language. That's their language. That's how they talk. Yes, you have a lot of kids that don't talk that way, but think about it like this. And I'm going to give you a biggest example that I've ever used dealing with high school kids. I tell them all the time, I hear you in the hallways talking to your friends. I walk in the hallways in the schools and I hear you talking to your friends. I hear you on the computer. I hear you on the video game. I hear you on the phone talking to your friends. You're loud, right? My son be upstairs. People that got kids that play video games. My son be upstairs. It sounds like a tornado is breaking through my house when he's on a game with his friends. When he's on Call of Duty, Fortnite, when he's on one of them, it sounds like a tornado's going down the crowd upstairs, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is their language. You know what I'm saying? Parents, don't get mad at coaches that yell at your kids. That's their language. That's how they talk. That's why some of them click with it because that's how they talk. Man, get over there, man. Hey, man, what you doing, man? You 48, man. Hey, dude. Hey, you sold me, man. You sold me, man. Hey, you supposed to have my back, man. Where you at, dog, man? You crazy, man. Hey, man, get him out of here, man. Get that dude. He sucks, man. He garbage, man. That's how they talk. He trash, man. That dude's garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing, man. He's weak. Oh, man, he sold me, man. Oh, pass me the ball. That's how they talk. You know what I'm saying? So they doing that to each other all the time. That's their language. Most of them. I'm not gonna. A lot of things that I speak about when I talk on my shows, I gotta give a disclaimer to everything. Everything is more general, right? And when you go with general, you're going with the real majority, right? Society, the world, government taught y'all now how to read minority and shit. Y'all messed up about it. Excuse my language in the early show, but the majority of people do that, right? The high majority of these kids talk like that. So that's why sometimes they can relate to a coach that can come up there, man, give me this, give me that, give me that. They may be embarrassed that it's happening in public, but I think a lot of times they need to understand it's happening in public because you're embarrassing us in public. So let's crack it off, right? But here and near or there, we talk about that before on another show. We'll talk about that some more on another time. But you got to speak the language because that's the only way they're going to understand that it's okay for them to go in attack mode. You know what I'm saying? And you got to attack. And I speak about things in retrospect to, like I tell my kids all the time, everything that you do, you can apply to everything that you do, right? So the talents that you learn in certain things, you can apply to any aspect of yourself in life, right? So when I just was talking about attack, that's with everything in life. I mean, on a basketball court, right? Because that's what you guys probably think that I'm heading towards, right? But I'm not. I'm talking about just in life in general, right? Attack it head on. You got a task, you got something you need to figure out, attack it head on, right? Figure out what you need to do and attack it head on, right? And we need to teach kids how not to have a camp mentality because that's the only way they're going to go in attack mode. You know what I'm saying? And at that young age, you have the time to do that. You have the time to figure things out. You have the time to take risks. You have the time to try new things and figure out what you like. You know what I'm saying? And to start heading into the direction that you need to head into to purify your life of what you're going to be doing for the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? So that you're happy making money. You know what I'm saying? But in order to do that, we got to stop telling them that they can't do it and stop making them feel like they can't do it. You know what I mean? And it's difficult, man, but it's all about manifesting. They got to understand the terminology of manifesting. I heard this very strongly from a home of mine, 3Bs. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Organic. You know what I'm saying, dude, dude's off doing his thing right now, big time right now. So, and one of the things that he would preach was the ability to manifest. And I think that it kind of hit pretty hard, and I think that that's one of the reasons why he was able to um, climb up the chain in the social media world like he did, was because what he was preaching was something that all of us have within us, and that's what manifesting is. It's the ability to speak out what you believe in to the universe, and the universe in tunes sends it right back to you, right? And that's what people don't understand about negativity and pessimistic behavior. Also, it's the same way. So that's why, more so, when you're manifesting, if you're thinking positive, if you're thinking that you're the best, if you're thinking that you can do everything, then that's what's going to end up in tune, building your mindset and your personality, and your drive to go out here and do everything. But if you think that you can't do things, then you wouldn't be able to manifest in the right way, right? I've said before, what I'm saying, like people that, like, if you're in a race, right? Let's say you're in a race, and you're in a race, and you automatically know, right? Somebody tells you that you're not going to win, right? Or somebody says that no matter what you do, you're not going to win, right? How would you respond to that, right? How would you run? Would you run with all your, if somebody said no matter what you do, you're not going to win, would you still run with all your might? You know what I'm saying? Like the average person, the general person wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only exceptional people that just say, hey, man, you know what? I don't believe in that. Can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to push this. I'm going to be the best that I can be. And if I don't do it this time, then I'll do it next time. If I don't do it that time, then I'll keep doing it again and again and again until it gets done. And that's where removing the word can't affects that type of mentality. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think, manifesting is the blueprint. It's the blueprint, you know. Um, you have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? In order to do that, you have to try new things and be risky about it. But it's manifesting is a blueprint, because you're basically telling yourself, like I said, you're telling the universe what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And you're almost seeing it, right? And if you're seeing it, all you're doing is just giving yourself the whole outline of how it's going to go, and you just got to play it out. But you got to play your role. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to do the things that you got to do. You got to be willing to take those risks, and make happen what you want to happen. But you got to be able to have that mindset to where you don't believe in the word can't, where you're just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I still see this happening, and it's going to get done. But yeah, and you got to have a team, man. You got to have a strong team of people around you. You got to have some good people around you, and you got to have people that are willing to risk. And this is what I talk about, can to can, right? You got to have people that are really willing to risk um, what people see, because being the blueprint, or having the blueprint, means that most likely you're the first, right? If the architect, right, is the first person, right, because he's the first person to ever see this building, he's the first person because he's the one that's making it. Nobody's ever seen it ever before, right? So you got to be willing to be that first. And sometimes when you're that first, you have to knock down walls. You know what I'm saying? You have to knock down disbelievers and disprovers, right? Because there will be people that say, nah, we can't do it that way, or nah, it can't be done that way, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my point, right? And you're going to have those people that do that. And when you get around those people that do that, you still have to push for what your ideal is. You still have to push and make that blueprint into reality. And having a loyal team helps with that. Having people around you that are in that same mentality of pushing things and saying that they can, yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can. Um, it helps, you know what I'm saying, tremendously, because this world is built with a lot more people that want to tell you, and it's ironic too, because people, this is another thing about loyalty. Loyalty isn't just the fact that people are telling you that you can't, but it's the fact that they think that you can, but they just want to tell you that you can't, just so that they can do it, or they can do what they want to do above yours, right? Like, that mentality is jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, true loyalty, like where people want to see you win. You know what I'm saying? So they're even at the risk of themselves, they're willing to push you up. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the power that you have and all the help that you need. And and I think people that redefine the word can't for you are huge people to have in your lives as young people, as young men. You know what I'm saying? Because you just, sometimes, and I think sometimes it's difficult too, because um I think we as adults, we come into these kids as what we are and we try to explain to them how to get and become what we are, or, you know what I'm saying, one day better than us. But we kind of forget that who they are at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's difficult to relate to them. And I think one of the things that relates to them the best, like I said, is loyalty, but it's also being there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we can always just tell kids what to do if we're not going to be there. I think that's the biggest way to have um, disconnect within our young people is to not be there. Like straight up, I think if you ever have any type of problems with young kids, or you're feeling like there's a that you're not on the same page with young kids, and they're not following your lead, or not, they're not, you know what I'm saying, riding with what you're saying, and you're trying to figure it out, or you're trying to blame other people in the program, you got to be like, hey, look, have I been there? Right? Because kids are going to listen to people that have been there for them. That's just how they are. You know what I'm saying? They'll take you just sitting there sleeping on the floor and not paying attention to what they're doing, or you standing right next to them, working on something with them, or sitting right next to them, going over books or whatever. That's what they know. That's all they know, is that you've been there. And if you are not there, what you're saying to them is going to be difficult for them to grasp. Because listen to this, like, how can you tell a kid to be there when you're not? That's a problem. And if you ever have any problems in your situations, I guarantee you that's the problem. Period. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta have that in order for them to believe in this. Because when they start seeing that you're not there, then they start thinking can't, because you can't be there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This I can't. Hey man, look, I ain't making this stuff up, man. I don't make this stuff up. I just pull it out and make you remember it. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about that one day. You know what I'm saying? My wifey's little daughter told me one day, you know what I'm saying, a conversation. She said I was 2000 something, 400 years old or whatever. We'll talk about that another day, man. I'll be on some trippy stuff, man. Well, that's probably one of my late night adult conversations. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So we all been here before, man. I'm just trying to pull this information out of you guys, man. Loyalty is one of the biggest things in building those things, and that positiveness in kids. And I think that's what going into um this situation with my son with recruiting, man. I think recruiting is all about that. I think the recruiting is a culmination of them saying, I can, yes, I can. I think them being recruited by other schools, for whatever they're being recruited by, just as a testament to them being good at what they want to do. And in order for them to be good at it, they have to believe in themselves and understand that they always have that concept of that they're the best. They may not try to act it, or they may not be cocky or whatever, flamboyant about it. You know what I'm saying? But um, they understand when it's time to, when it's go time, it's time to attack, and they've done it at the right time, and they're starting to get recognized. Um, so, and loyalty plays a big part in that too. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you pay attention to that. Anybody that's getting recruited out here, just to touch on that for a bit. Kids that it gets that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year. It's that season, man. It's recruiting season. It is a huge time of the year. You got football people recruiting actively within the schools, directed to players. You got basketball recruits at tournaments, at games, on the road. All recruiters are on the road right now, on that hunt. You know what I'm saying? They're on that hunt. You know what I mean? I think loyalty is a big thing. I think people that see something. This is what we talk about, the can, the can. I think the people that see the can in your kid, um, from 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 the jump, and continuously stay in that hunt for that kid, man. I mean, they deserve the opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, at least sit down and talk with you and let you know what they present to you, what they want to present to you. So you gotta be weary about that, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, especially with my son's situation, you gotta, this today and age, you know what I'm saying? You never know, you know what I'm saying? All this portal stuff and people moving around and everybody going everywhere and everybody's in the portal. I mean, the video coordinator in the portal. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the video coordinator in the portal. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my change, man. Y'all tripping, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? They still got eligibility, dog. I still got like two, one, two, I think. You know what I'm saying? I got one or two. You know what I mean? So let's go. You know what I mean? Up in the portal, man. But with all that stuff going on right now, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to find that loyalty. And the portal has given birth to the can of doing, being almost being a salesman is the same way that the recruiters are being. So now the young kids can be salesmen now. Now the young kids can be like, recruiters be like, well, this is what I can do for your kid. This is what I do for your kid. And the kids be like, well, this is what I can do for your program. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? What? You know what I mean? Like, what you got? Drop down. You know what I mean? And that's what I used to teach my. That's the thing. I don't want to tell y'all specifically when I have conversations with my young people about, like, directly to them, because those are different conversations, right? Like I told you, it's about the language. The language that I'm giving to you guys, I'm giving the language to the audience that I'm dealing with. But my language when I talk to my kids, you know what I'm saying, especially my 2026 kids, is they know. You know what I'm saying? It's one sentence, two sentences, and it's time to go. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So we have done all our talking for 8 years. You know what I mean? Now it's time to just go get that money. You know what I mean? But that's neither here or there. We'll have that conversation as we get closer to June 2026. Well, as we get closer to the movie coming out. So we got about a year and 2 months. That's less than a year and 2 months for that movie to come out. And yeah, it's gonna be crackling, man. We gonna touch on this too, man. Recruiting, man. So because I remember when I was sitting there, and my brother was getting recruited, man. My brother Allen Anderson played for Michigan State, and I remember he was getting recruited by colleges, and Jim Calhoun came to the house, Tom Izzo came to the house, Dan Munson came to the house, um, um, Roy Williams came to the house. Or no. Jim did. I don't think Jim did. I think maybe his assistant did. I think it was, but Jim actually didn't, but his assistant did. Um, and I remember sitting there. You know what I'm saying? We stayed in an apartment building. They came in, brought some food. I spoke on this before. They brought some food over from famous Dave's. You know what I'm saying? We apartment people. We apartment. You know what I'm saying? Single black mom raising two boys in the apartment. You know what I'm saying? They bring some famous Dave's over. We thought we balling. You know what I'm saying? We like, oh, they brought some famous Dave's over. Double A. I was like, yo, we finna get this money, dog. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this money, baby. You know what I'm saying? And the recruiting process at that time was more so you had to be hands on. We didn't have all this social media DMing and all this back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So they had to get on the road and go travel and go places, right? So it was more personal. You know what I'm saying? Like these salesmen was like salesmen back in the day. They were selling encyclopedias. They coming to your door. Yo, we want your kid. We want your kid, man. You know what I'm saying? They presenting stuff, right? Painting the picture beautiful. But that's part of that, man. I'm gonna have a show about specifically about recruiting one day. Let's give a heads up to all my people and people that are going through that right now. Like I said, it is that time of the year. So I just want to kind of give you guys parents a heads up. But we'll talk about that on another show. Um, and you gotta always keep in mind that like I said, with the salesman part of it, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to their part, whoever's part you're dealing with, I think you gotta understand who the salesmen are, right? And you gotta weed those people out. You don't want a salesman, you want somebody, like I said, loyal, that you know is gonna be loyal, you know what I'm saying? And maybe not trying to be like uh promise you the world with your kid, but just promise you the reality of a better opportunity in life after they deal with your after they deal with your son, right? That's how anything in life is. How are you going to add to it? How are you going to add to my kid, right? And I've told people before, man, um, man, this your kid, man. Talk to him, man. Tell him what you want, man. Tell him, ask the world, man, because that's your kid, right? You got to do that, man. I think the salesman mentality is kind of dumbing us down, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I think what it's doing is it actually it's actually backfiring, because what's happening is that we have very much a lot of hypocrisy in this world. We have a lot of people that want to tell you not to be a salesman, not to be proud of yourself, or proud of what you're doing, but then they're proud of what they're doing, right? So they tell you so that we talked about this. I talked about this a minute ago with the blueprint, right? So they try to be salesmen to the point where they try to tell you that what you're doing is not right. Follow this way, and they doing some garbage stuff anyways. You know what I'm saying? But they just wanted to put your shit on the wraps or want you to slow down so they can get their sales off. So and recruiting is like that, but now the weight is being more heavily in the young kids age now. They have more of the weight now. You know what I'm saying? It's like home buying. People that know home buying, it's basically the same thing, right? Just The salesman and the young people is really at a high right now. You know what I'm saying? They can get in here and they can ask what they want, and they deserve it. So they can demand it. Don't let nobody dumb you down, man. Don't let nobody dumb you down, man. Like I said, you can't. Not around here. You can. Yes, I can. That's it. That's all it is. Yes, I can. So keep that mentality all the way through, and you'll never, hopefully never shortchange yourself um, when you're kind of going through um, these situations where you're trying to better yourself. You're trying to be somebody that's good. You're trying to be somebody that's positive, but you're also trying to have the best life that you can have. And the reason why I say that is, as long as you're trying to do things the best all the time, and you push to be the greatest all the time, and you shoot for the moon, and you still land them on the stars, is because who remembers the guy that sat next to Einstein? Anybody know his name? Anybody know the kid that sat next to Einstein in class? Can anybody tell me the name of the guy that sat next to Einstein in class? No, because nobody knows. Nobody even cares. That's a question that nobody even cares about. You probably put a search. You know how you search stuff in the internet on the internet, and you start typing the sentence, and it'd be like a whole bunch of different stuff down there already waiting for you. And all of a sudden, you start typing a certain letter, and just everything disappears. Like that means that whatever you type, it ain't in the world. Nobody's ever said it ever in the history of the world. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody's ever said what's the name of the kid that sat next to Einstein. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that guy. Nobody. You want to be that guy? You want to be that guy? You want to be Einstein? Let's go, man. Yes, you can, man. You can be Einstein, man. You can be anybody. You can be anything you want to be. Push yourself to the best of your ability. And one thing about coaching to me too, speaking on this, is tell my kids, man, you got to be weary though. All right, when you guys are doing, yes, you can, and doing everything you can do as young people, you got to be weary of that, because when you run against the wrong person, like myself, one of my philosophies is, I tell my kids, one of my philosophies is, once you show me something, I can't unsee it. I'm sorry, I know how to use the word can't. Okay, literally, once you show me something, I cannot unsee it. I know you can do it. I've seen you do it. I'm gonna demand you to do it. I'm gonna ask you to do it because I saw you do it. I saw you do it. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, when y'all in this yes I can mentality, or when you out here trying to be the best that you can be, make sure you understand, when you show people what you can do, they're gonna expect you to do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna expect you to do it all the time. Don't slow down, right? Put your foot on the gas and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? As one of the greatest lines ever in the history of the world. Um, just do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we know who that is. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do a documentary about footwear at basketball tournaments. I was noticing now it's changed. So wow, this is crazy. When you just watch things change, when you're just an observer, um, you watch things change, and I see that with the slogan, just do it, right? The Nike slogan, right? I was at a tournament probably about, wow, TJ probably was like about sixth grade, I think. Sixth grade, so about five years ago, maybe six, something, I don't know, somewhere around there, but 5, 6 years ago, I'm at a tournament and I'm watching all the kids, and I'm just looking at all the shoes, and the majority of the shoes were Nikes. And I was just like, I'm talking about like huge majority, like 90%. And just to kind of see how much that's changed in just, 5 or 6 years, you know what I'm saying? You got Adidas out there, uh, New Balance got some people, you know what I'm saying, they rocking. I don't see Reebok that much, so they need to fight back, you know what I'm saying? But I do see Adidas. I see Puma making a comeback, you know what I'm saying? Puma doing a thing. Nike is still the monster though. Nike is just do it. That's probably one of the reasons why they're so fierce with their against their competition, is because their slogan is just do it. You know what I'm saying? You really can't come up with a slogan that's harder than that, right? When it comes to sportswear, right? That's really a hard slogan to beat. Just do it, right? And that leads back to, like I said, one of the biggest marketing companies in the world uses the slogan "Just do it." Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best place to hide is in plain sight. That's the best place to hide, right? So the marketability of them telling you just do it is telling you that's why it brings you into their merchandise. That's why it brings you into that store. It's telling you to attack, attack, attack. It's telling you, yes, I can, yes, I can, and to just go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, that's it for the day, man. Popping off, man. I'm glad to be back, man. I kind of was a little bit everywhere today with it, a little bit here, a little bit there. I talked a lot about basketball. I talked a lot about this weekend, man, which is really kind of just rolling around in my brain still because it was hell of a weekend, man. Them Columbia dudes, man. I like them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what's up, man. This won't be the last that you hear be talking about stories of them. So you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's get it. Roar Lions, right? Arr! You know what I'm saying? So it's your boy, man, 800 the Styles, man. You guys have a blessed day, man. It's beautiful outside. Get outside. I'm sure I will see you outside. I'm sure we're gonna see posts and videos. Ladies, put your clothes on. Put some clothes on. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm speaking for all the good dudes that are in good relationships with good women. Please put some clothes on. Shit, I be scrolling on my shit. It's like I don't get this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't yeah, put some clothes on. I got a woman. This is your boy, man. Anyways, have a good day, man. Love y'all, man. Blessings. Oh my God.